As we prepare to celebrate festive seasons, let us not again now lose our lives on these roads. So it is very important that we must all understand and know what normally causes these crashes in such periods, and next, what we also need to do. Every person at least is a road user. We have pedestrians on these roads, we have drivers on these roads, we have motorcyclists, and we also have cyclists and passengers actually. So we must all understand what must we do. Before we get there, what normally causes these crashes? We have speeding. Speeding is very dangerous. This is a season where people feel or think they have to drive so fast to get to places where they are going, even when they have started their journeys late, which is very, very dangerous. So speeding is number one killer on these roads. It has caused a lot of crashes on the road. So in this very period or season, we also tend to see many people trying to drive so fast to get to their destinations. So here we are coming to tell you that it is very dangerous. As we prepare to celebrate these days, let us not lose our lives just because of driving so fast. We must not drive beyond the prescribed speed limits. Small vehicles or surround vehicles, they must not drive beyond 100 kilometers per hour. Let's all drive within the prescribed speed limits advised or put on the roads. But we must also know that beyond 100 kilometers per hour, for small vehicles, it is very dangerous. Vehicles that are passenger service vehicles, that is minibuses and buses, they must not drive beyond 80 kilometers per hour. And here we are talking on rural areas where the places are not busy. But when we get to towns or centers, we have to reduce our speed. And every time we tend to observe these speed limits on roads, I'm telling you, we are going to reduce these road crashes. So let us not perish, even when we can choose to drive slowly or we can choose to drive within the speed limits as is required by the law. So as we travel up country, as we travel to different places, as we go on to celebrate our festive season with our loved ones or our people in the villages and rural areas, please let us be mindful of how we drive. As we also drive, it is very important to understand, of course, there are going to be very many vehicles on the road. Then we want to overtake. How do we overtake? When should you overtake? Because improper overtaking has also been one of the major causes of road crashes on the roads. So how do we overtake? When we get to corners, we must not overtake in corners. We must not overtake when there are very many vehicles ahead of us. Then when another vehicle is also trying to overtake, let us not overtake. When a vehicle is ahead of us and has started overtaking, let us not overtake. So it is very important for us to know these things. I have always seen most people on these roads trying to compete with the other drivers, even those that you have not come with, even those you don't have a program with. We are all going to different destinations, so why should you compete on the road? Let's not compete on the road. You are starting to overtake, someone is aside, he is not even bothered, but when he sees you starting to overtake, he's also accelerating. What do we see? We see like kind of a competition. Two vehicles moving along one and each other, and then we are closing off the road, stealing off the road, and making it impossible for the oncoming traffic now to pass. So which is very, very dangerous, and these things have caused a lot of... So when we choose to travel these long distances, let us not compete with anyone. Let us move as us, as ourselves. You have come with your own program from home. Don't compete with anyone on this road. Move alone and know how to move, and know when to overtake and how to overtake. On hills, let us not overtake. On places where we have these road marks and the lines are continuous, let us not overtake. They are trying to tell us that we cannot see what is ahead of us. So let's avoid that. Distracted driving. Distracted driving. A situation where the driver is driving and then is making phone calls, is texting, is WhatsApping, is eating. Ladies are doing makeup. This is very dangerous for us. This is very dangerous for us. I know at festive season there are a lot of things that make us busy. But when we have chosen to drive, let us not use phones. At least have a co-driver who can use that phone, or someone who can pick your phone calls. Don't even pick those phone calls, even if they're in loudspeaker. You don't know the message this person is giving you that maybe could put you off, and then it knocks you off. Whenever we are driving, every part of our body concentrates in driving, be it the mind and the ear, that we'll hear some sounds and tell that there's a heavy vehicle that is coming. So let us not distract any part of our body when we are driving. Let us concentrate. We want you safe. We want you alive as you travel. There are many other things that have continued to claim lives of people, and all this that are sure that really it is out of our negligence. Things that we can all actually try to avoid. So let's try to avoid them. Let's drive within speed limits. And also, as we get to festive seasons, I know most of us will want to drink, merrymaking, because we are happy. We want to drink and then we want to drive. It is very dangerous. Do not drink and drive. When you have taken your alcohol, no one is stopping you, don't drive. Get someone at least to be in charge of that vehicle that you are traveling in. So let us not risk. And we know we are at the mercy of the drivers. That is why I'm giving all those tips, that as drivers, please, we are trusting you with our lives on these roads. Our lives are in your hands. Make sure you take us safely and bring us back safely. Out there are passengers, they are pedestrians. What roles must we do? What roles are we to play to ensure that there is sanity on the roads? We have a lot. As passengers, we get to these vehicles and there are going to be very many people who are going to be looking for means of transport. And we shall even see many vehicles which are not even authorized to do taxi. They will also start taking passengers. So as a passenger out there, please don't board a vehicle that is not authorized to carry people. Vehicles without a checked band, or what we can call a chukubo. Vehicles, you really see, please don't get into these vehicles that are not authorized to carry, because they may kidnap you, they may do other things, and those other drivers maybe are not also used to carry people. So let us be careful where we are boarding these vehicles from, and that before we board as passengers, it is important for us to take photos of these vehicles to get the number plate, or get your notebook and take note of that number plate of that vehicle for your safety. In case of anything, I'll give the number that we can communicate to for the police to rescue you in the case of anything. But let us get these vehicles from authorized stages where we can board from. And while we are in those vehicles, please, let us not die silently there. People are piling us like posho, like charcoal, like matoke in these vehicles, and then we are keeping quiet. Let's not keep quiet. This is your life. This is your life. Let's not keep. Let us speak up. Let us speak out what is disturbing us or what is inconveniencing us on these roads. Situations where they are carrying us excess. Situations where someone is driving under the influence of alcohol. Situations where someone is driving and is not concentrating on driving, but is doing other things that is driving you. As a passenger, what must you do? When you take note of this number plate, you are going to communicate to the police that you know, or to the number that I may give, which is the toll-free. You don't need any time to call this number. Please call and inform us. I want to tell you that every time there is a crash, there are signs before. You read there and know and say, the way how this person was driving, we are not going to reach. So what did you do when you saw that? Let us not keep quiet. Let us not keep quiet. I want to tell you that a police cannot be everywhere. We need your support. We need the help of everyone. Be vigilant. Get some of these things that are not good on the road, traffic violations, and report them to us. We can always call 0800-199-099. We are reporting some of these things that are not good. We really want everyone to be safe on the road. And I know you also want to be safe as you travel. You can just imagine you are going to celebrate, but then the news that comes later is that you have perished just because of driving beyond the prescribed speed limit. So let us all know what we must do. Pedestrians that are walking on these roads, we must know where to cross from. We must know which side of the road to walk from. We must know when are we supposed to cross and when are we not supposed to cross. Don't just cross anyhow. I've seen most of us put on headsets or earphones, and then we are using the roads. You cannot hear the vehicles that are coming. So it puts you at a high risk of being involved in a road crash. So let us also be vigilant as pedestrians when we're using these roads. Those who move on motorcycles, it is very important. The motorcycle you're moving on, If the person does not have an helmet and you yourself, the person does not have a reflective jacket, please don't board. When you board onto a motorcycle and the person is smelling alcohol, the person is riding, really, you also see that this person is an amateur, he is not used. Please don't risk. I know that most of you out there, drivers, you are used to driving short distances, 8 kilometers the maximum per day. You are from this area to office and going back. You are now going to drive on highways. You have never been onto a highway where you meet trailers bypassing, buses bypassing, many vehicles moving, and you are not used to that situation. Please don't risk your life. What you do, get someone and hire someone or a driver who can drive you, who is used. Don't risk, because you have been only used driving these short distances. Then another thing, on top of driving short distances, you are also not used to drive at night. I want to tell you that driving day and driving night, they are totally different. There is poor visibility when it comes to night, and many people are not used to drive at night. So, and that's why we normally see crashes happen in the night. So don't risk. You either plan your journey early enough that you move during the day, or hire someone, or when you get somewhere at his night, please sleep over and get back to your journey the following day. Don't risk your life to drive at night if you are not used to. I want to tell you, it is more difficult to drive in the night. As other vehicles are coming flashing on you light, it's very, very difficult and very, very dangerous for you. Don't risk your life, please. Just sleep and then travel the following day when you think you are very sober. I want to tell you that road safety is a shared responsibility. Do not wait for the traffic officer to get that person who is violating the traffic laws and regulations. You yourself, you have a role to play. I have given you the roles to play and the numbers to call just in case. Please be alert. We don't want to lose you. Stay alive and stay safe.